So excited to be here with the Vet TV organization, talking a little bit today about large-scale broadcasts, the power of audio networking. Honored and privileged to be here and excited to give this presentation to you guys. We're going to talk about unleashing the creativity and efficiency and connectivity when it comes to networking. But just a little bit about myself. My name is Tony Staires. I'm the Sales Director and Business Development Manager in North America for LAWO. I've been a part of the LAWO team right at 5 years. Actually, NAB 2019 was my second week on the job. But since then, I've been able to work several hundred projects across the globe, including some of the largest television stations, media companies designing very large-scale video, IP, and audio networking facilities. And across my 25-year career, I've been a part of some just great opportunities, from large-scale house of worship, large-scale broadcast, and everything in between. So excited to share a little bit of my experience and what it means, to be, having connected IP facilities. Over my past 25 years, we've definitely seen the technical landscape evolve. When I first started, it was large scale, analog consoles, a lot of backhaul of copper cable, analog splits, very complex copper systems. But as time has come along, we've seen the introduction of network topologies, giving a lot more creativity, a lot more flexibility and scalability when it comes to audio across a broadcast facility, across a live entertainment venue, or even touring applications as well. But the solution we want to look at is how we can take our technology and use the evolution that we see in the broadcom industry, as well as the networking industry and the media business. And the landscape is ever changing, and we want to leverage that for our benefit when it comes to audio and broadcast. And with media business trying to keep up, there's also trying to manage the cost of how we do audio across these facilities. And the market is really driving us to a very agile and elastic software solution, network solution, and we want to, again, harness the backs of giants as they're developing these protocols and these technologies. And we want to take these and develop processing blocks and scalable solutions that meet broadcast demands. And we want to embrace these as time changes, as these technologies change and things go on. When you're talking about audio networking, networking now is the backbone when it comes to modern broadcasts. We're leveraging technologies to transmit and manage signals over large digital networks. Unlike conventional methods that rely on analog infrastructure, we want to, again, harness the power of Ethernet, IP, and other protocols for our benefit. And the key technologies when we talk about audio over IP, we're talking about network standards such as 2110, 2022-6, Dante, of course, AES-67, AVB, and other network protocols. Along with that come other host of even video applications, such as, again, 2110 uncompressed, JPEG XS, SRT for wide area applications, even technologies like NDI are we even seen coming into the audio platform when it comes to networks and scalability, and other compressed formats like MPEG-2, so on and so forth. But it's clear, we can't have just a sole focus on one specific technology, but we have to adopt all of these protocols into one unified platform in order to leverage that for other key benefits. So, in the result, our customers and all of our deployments can use these multiple formats for flexible and scalable solutions. Big key benefits, again, scalable. You have audio networking empowers the broadcasters to scale their operations effortlessly, accommodating growing demands without the need of expensive capital upgrades. Also, this flexibility with audio networking, you can dynamically route your signals not just in your facility, but across a major wide area network. And this seamlessly adapts to ever-changing production requirements. Also is the cost aspect. With the flexibility of being able to scale dynamically based on demands, you can consolidate all of your audio distribution into one unified, scalable platform. This brings your costs down, but drives up efficiency. You can reduce some of your maintenance expense by utilizing a singular platform. and then optimizes resource utilization. Remote accessibility, something we did not have in the past with baseband solutions. So we're seeing facilities not just across a campus, even across state lines, but even across the world. And when you decentralize your audio infrastructure, put it on a network, you can address multiple audio feeds across the globe, but as well as resiliency and redundancy for geodiverse applications, meaning you can scale up things in data centers in multiple cities. In case of a natural disaster, you can spin that up in another data center and be highly resilient for disaster recovery. And then enhanced control, with work from home policies, with the need for people, in various places, very, different times. You have enhanced control and remote flexibility that you may have an operator in one city while the event is happening, across the globe. So with this, audio networking platform, you can use software interfaces to control all of these disparate protocols into one mixing platform, and just makes everything in front of the user very quick, very agile, to perform all of their functions in one small software-defined application. One of the biggest things we have to do is we have to adapt, right? The ever-changing landscape, we're seeing new protocols, almost yearly, but we have to adapt those things into, a platform to where the user, those things are exposed to the user in the ways that are familiar to them, the way that they've interacted with audio, for the past decade, so that as things come along, they can adapt, but also have some familiarity to it. And that's one thing you'll see in the LAWO platform of what we're doing to make their workflow familiar, but also agile. So apart from the technology change, we see our customers and our partners really need to utilize these new technologies. It allows them to focus on efficiencies, helps them even eradicate waste. So as you don't have specific pieces of hardware dedicated to one platform, but agile FPGA and CPU-based platforms that utilize multiple technologies, it brings down your costs, thus eradicating waste and overhead when it comes to things like power, heat, things like that. And ultimately, it helps you maximize your return on investment. So if you have technologies that are scalable, you can, if you outgrow that technology and you can scale it, you don't have to, what we say, contribute to the pyramid of waste by getting rid of an old platform because it no longer suits your needs. But in a scalable platform, you can add DSP processing on top, you can scale up for peak demand, scale back down for baseline operations, but ultimately, eliminating purpose-driven hardware to where you can utilize COTS-based platforms, COTS-based networking to scale your applications. But one of the biggest things I think we need in our industry when it comes to training and support, you got to have a comprehensive training and ongoing support program to your production staff to maximize the benefit of this audio networking. Again, being agile is great, but until we can support the industry with knowledge, with forums, we're not going to be able to adapt these workflows as quickly and efficiently as possible. We want to equip our teams. We want to make it the transition as smooth and optimized as possible. So that's why LAWO is investing in programs to help people understand the new technology as they come along. Some of these the big benefits when it comes to large-scale audio implementations, we see live events utilizing large-scale audio networks. We actually have a touring band here in Las Vegas right now that has multiple consoles, hundreds of preamps on one COTS-based solution. So you're not seeing just big broadcasters, even live touring acts jumping onto large-scale audio networking because they see the effects that they can scale based on the band's needs. Maybe, one group is a much larger implementation on a tour. Maybe the next is a smaller theater-style tour. They can scale back down, and without redoing their entire production. In broadcast studio environments, we see this is widespread, but in large-scale broadcast environments, efficient signal routing between recording studios, control rooms, post-production facilities, And by centralizing audio management and monitoring, broadcasters can streamline their workflows, reduce their setup times, and enhance collaboration. So in audio networking, instead of having these islands and rooms that only do one function, when you network and put everything together, post-production, live broadcasts can work together, as well as engineering being able to monitor everything across the network, to see the health. Where in the past, if you plug in an XLR cable, it didn't come out the other end, you can just put a meter on it, and it was easy to troubleshoot. But nowadays, you can utilize specific tools from the IT industry to see why maybe audio is not getting from one end to another. And engineering can step in and troubleshoot those issues, but you can share those resources between different studios, different facilities, but even different practices, again, from post-production, live environment. And so resource sharing definitely enhances the workflow, minimizes downtime, and creates efficiencies across the facility. As well, again, as remote broadcasting. We're seeing huge rise in remote broadcasting, and audio network has become indispensable for connecting distributed and remote contributors, and leveraging audio feeds from remote location, enabling seamless collaboration and content delivery. So you may have an audio mixer, in one facility, the talent maybe across in the sports venue, while a producer is at home producing the show. And by utilizing large-scale broadband networking, all of these can collaborate in one time, not being in one facility, reducing travel costs. And again, efficiency is kind of utmost priority when it comes to all of this. So what's the outlook? What does it look like? As we gaze into the future, the potential of audio networking is boundless. From immersive audio formats like Dolby Atmos, emerging technologies using other AOIP standards, cloud-based compute and cloud-based environments, software-defined networking. Large-scale broadcast is poised to continue to innovate and evolve based on these platforms. We want to embrace principles of interoperability, scalability, flexibility, and harness the potential of audio networking to captivate our audience and define boundaries of what excellence looks like in broadcast. So in conclusion, we really want to harness audio networking to represent a paradigm shift from old baseband technology, monolithic systems, and embrace large, worldwide broadcast solutions. We want to empower our broadcasters to transcend traditional limitations and just unlock new realms of creativity, efficiency, and connectivity. So as we embark on a journey to transform it, we want to embrace the possibilities as they come. We want to embrace the new standards as they come. And then we want to chart a course into the future that doesn't have any bounds, because as we limit ourselves to certain technologies, we lock ourselves into specific workflows that eliminate creativity, they eliminate flexibility, and they eliminate efficiencies. So we want to utilize the biggest resources we have in people, and as we harness networks to do so, we're going to see people utilizing this technology to be more creative, but also to be more efficient in their time. So they're not traveling to be somewhere, they're not traveling and setting up systems days on end to tear down and spend more days of so if you can send a fly pack to a facility with an engineer, but the audio mixer can be at home, they can turn over multiple shows in a day. But if we don't harness networks to do so, we're going to be less efficient to where one truck can only do one thing, and then it takes them a week to get somewhere else to set up a different show. But as we look at these platforms, I would love to hear some questions, some concerns from the audience about where do you see this going? What are your concerns about the technology? Where are the gaps that you're seeing, and how manufacturers and other thought leaders in the industry can help your people when it comes to this technology? I mean, when it comes to networking technology, I think we're starting to see gaps where it comes guys that have been mixers for a long time, you know, starting to feel like network engineers, right? And so we're seeing that we're having to educate the customer on network platforms, network protocols. So that's where the biggest gap we see is that transition from being a specific audio mixer to having to learn a new discipline when it comes to audio networking technology. And so things like, you know, just simple things like this, of just educating of why gets to the next step of how. And so, you know, us leveraging things like online portal access to trainings, Dante level certifications, 2110 level certifications through AES and SMPTE, bring about kind of that change so guys can feel comfortable as they move from maybe one position of being a mixer to a lot of times having to play multiple roles when it comes to a broadcast. Yep. Yeah, so for us at LAWO, we have an IP networking guide that's free or free resource. You can download it. It's in PDF format. We also have a portal that we're launching. It's our basically a training portal that gives you some basics in networking, but also advanced functionality and workflows on the LAWO product. So if you walk into a facility that's, you know, has a LAWO console, LAWO video router, things like that, you have access to these trainings so you know what you're doing when you get there. It's all available online.
So for a new audio engineer coming into the business, maybe learning Dante would be a great first introduction to the network?
Yeah, so as you're coming in the industry, I mean, Dante should be a great first step. Audinate has a great platform and a great certification program to learn not just the Dante protocol, but networking techniques, networking best practices. And again, LAWO is beginning to offer such things like that for, you know, Ravenna, AES-67, 2110. And, yeah, I tell people that, you know, Google is one of the most powerful things you can have when it comes to learning. You know, there's nothing wrong with a good Google search, but there's a lot of manufacturers that really, and large-scale companies that really want to help people along because that's the future of this business. And so if you can't educate people, you can't grow. Yeah, thanks guys.